feel like in the vintage selling world, we've experienced a huge shift. I feel like this is maybe a controversial thing to say. I don't know. Maybe everyone agrees with me, but I feel like we're seeing the death of Depop and the rise of alternatives. Now, as a Depop veteran, that feels like a big thing to say for me on the internet, but I kind of feel like it's true, and I want to talk about it and discuss the shift, why that might have happened, and what's coming out of it on the other side. I think a lot of people who follow me probably follow me because they found me on Depop. After selling on Depop for 10 years, I now sell on a completely different app that has a completely different format called Tilt. I've been selling on there for about 6 months now, and I'm now at the point where I'm making up to £15 a minute when I sell on there. I'm gonna talk about that because I don't usually talk about numbers that much of my business and stuff, but I wanted to do it in this video because I feel like this could be a nice little businessy, analytical style video. And then at the end, I'll also take you along with me to do a drop on Tilt because I'm doing one tonight. So I thought perfect timing. Like I said, I would consider myself a Depop veteran. I started selling on Depop 10 years ago. I was in the right place at the right time, but I also dedicated a lot of work into it and had a knack for like the marketing and marrying social media use with the Depop app itself to grow my business. And I ended up, I think I have now like 170k followers on Depop. I've sold, I'm just checking now, I've sold 23,000 things, 10k reviews. So yeah, I was selling on there for a long time basically. 10 years is a long time. I started when I was 18. I feel like it really peaked for me personally anyway during COVID, but it was pretty consistently great. It was growing year on year all through the first like, I don't know, 6-7 years. Peaked in COVID. COVID was crazy. The majority of my customers were either at school or uni. They were living at home, they had student loans that they weren't using, everyone was bored, everyone was shopping online. Business-wise, for me, it was a great time. The immediate aftermath of that, I got really into pop-ups, and those were crazy. They did really, really well because people were craving an in-person experience. And the first couple of years after COVID were really good. I was making up to 5k a week. I really had it down and I felt really good about it. And then I just noticed the past couple of years, just a huge shift. The input of work was the same for me. I was still listing around 100 items a week, and that involved hours of styling, shooting, and listing the items. That's all before the sale is made. Then you sell things, then you do the packaging and the customer service and the inventory management. So in terms of hours put in, it was a lot, but the financial output, the turnover was not matching the input any longer. So I was still putting in all this time and effort. The content for promo was doing well, but the sales just weren't working anymore. So I was like, something's happening here and something needs to change. And I feel like one of the things I'm proud of with my business is that I'm always open to change. I like to keep things flexible and adaptable. So I'm always up for trying something new. And after being on Depop for such a long time, this was my sign to try something completely new. This prompted me to open my shop, which I share with another vintage seller, Vival Studios, and that is going amazingly. It's so fulfilling to get to meet customers in real life, to present my own brand alongside my vintage in a physical space that I've put effort into the interior decorating of, and just to work with people with a team of retail staff and to share it with another brand has been amazing. But that wasn't quite getting the sales to the point I wanted them to be at. And I was really open to try something new, and I got approached by a couple of live stream selling apps, but one of them really caught my eye and their offer was really appealing, and that app is called Tilt, and that's where I sell now. It's a live stream selling app. It's auctions, it's bidding. So I set a start price and everyone who's in the room bids on that item and the highest bidder wins. It has an international reach, and yeah, there were pros and cons to starting for sure. Pros being that it was a completely new app. I guess this is a con as well, but I feel like I saw it as a pro. It was a clean slate, kind of like how Depop was for me at the beginning as well. I've always been into getting on things at the beginning of their inception. If you know what you're doing and you do it well, then you can make the most out of that situation. They're really open to working collaboratively. They said you can really shape the women's wear side of this app. It had been just a menswear app for a couple of years and women's wear was non-existent. So I was really coming in at a time where it was open to be shaped. I love my network of really amazing sellers that I've built up over the years. So I got all of them on it. Some took a bit of convincing, some were super keen for it. It is just scary to try something completely new and put time into something new. And then it was a completely new concept, a completely new user experience, which I'll talk about a bit later on. But all of those things seem like major pros to me. Cons wise, it was completely uncharted territory, which like I said can be a good thing and a bad thing. But that is a little scary, especially when your reputation is involved, which is partly why they wanted to get me on board in the first place, because of my reputation of being a vintage seller. But then the downside of that is that you're putting your reputation on the line, and if it doesn't work out, some people might find that embarrassing. I don't know whether I would or I'd just move on. It kind of depends how you deal with it. In addition to that, I knew that I would initially have a monopoly over the market on that app, and then that would change and shift as other people joined. I thought about it like this: that could be a negative thing, because in a way it's good to have a monopoly. But what I've learned through Depop and through doing pop-ups with other brands and sellers and working collaboratively with other brands is that always, for me, it's been the more the merrier. The more people that are selling on the app, the more they're bringing their audience in, the more that their content is reaching new audiences. It's a group effort of everyone trying to push a new app. I think there's a misconception, there's a couple of misconceptions. That like the Depop scene or the women's wear vintage scene is like competitive, but it's just not like that at all. I feel like most of us love working together. We work together really nicely and we really appreciate what each person brings to the table. And I've had so many amazing experiences in that respect. Another myth is that there's like one shared community of like Depop customers, and that like maybe has reached its peak, but I really don't find that. I mean, I get people coming into the shop who has never heard of me on Depop, never heard of Ivory Studios on Depop. They've just walked past and now they're like our loyal customers. So I think that it's such a myth to think that your community is fixed. There are so many people in this world. All these apps make vintage shopping more and more accessible, so why not just try and max it out? That's the background on Tilt. Now I want to talk about the current climate of vintage, I guess, shopping really online. I said at the beginning that I think Depop is dying or has died. I want to talk about why I think that is. I do think to a certain extent a lot of businesses or apps or trends like come to a natural death, and that's kind of to be expected. It's normal. Depop had a really amazing run. Honestly, in its heyday, it was like the thing. I feel like it was the thing that everyone was talking about. That is coming to an end, and I think that is to an extent natural. But I do think there's other external factors and internal factors that also brought this change about. Depop was a very culturally significant app, and I do think that they lost sight of that towards the end. At the beginning, they were really focused on community. They did a lot of seller profiling. They understood that like the sellers were behind the cultural significance of the app. I've heard that the top sellers aren't who make them the most money, and I completely appreciate that aspect of it, because when you think about the selling fees, the people who are dropshipping fake eyelashes are probably making way more money for the app. But you also need people to be shopping on the app, and for people to be shopping on the app, you need to be culturally significant, and I do think that they lost sight of that. The main way that I would say that was obvious is by the complete lack of curation on the app. When you scroll through the search feed on Depop, it was a mission to find the thing that you were actually searching for, because there was no regulation of like tag words, categories. It was just, everyone was tagging all sorts of brands. It was just crazy. It got to the point where it was so hard to find the thing that you were actually looking for on there, but then you were still paying a premium price for the product. Obviously Vinted comes along and you're still trawling through a lot of stuff on that app, but it's really well organized. It's really well regulated in terms of listings. Like everything is assigned a category, a brand, a color. It just makes it so much easier to search on the app. And then at the end of the day, you're not paying a premium price for spending time searching through that app. You're paying like £5 or £10. On Depop, you'd be trawling, but then you might be paying £50 for something. And I completely understand how, as a consumer, that just doesn't make sense. Like, you're not being rewarded for the time that you're putting in searching for something. Obviously, we have to talk about the Vinted For You page. It is so good. Like, that algorithm is crazy. I go on there to shop for myself and it will literally just show me the exact thing that I'm looking for and I'll buy it, and it's so easy. I think Depop like tried to do that, but it didn't really work that well. They had too many different feeds and like the explore page, and it was just really muddled and unclear, and I feel like Vinted really has that down. Plus it became like a huge trend, and is still a huge trend on TikTok or on socials, to like do a Vinted haul, show how to search for brands, all these things. So it's really easy to search for things on Vinted and to share how you found things on Vinted. And so that just blew up. So the UX is great. From the buying side, it's a great app to use. But then equally as importantly, as a seller, it's really, really easy to sell on there. Vinted is kind of the modern eBay, and it relies on lots of people doing wardrobe clear outs and selling their stuff for cheap. I feel like they've had decent ads and marketing. Like, I see their ads on TV, I see them on the tube. Like, they're really appealing to the masses in terms of selling your clothes on Vinted, and it is so easy to sell on Vinted as well. So all that really encourages lots of wardrobe clear out, lots of new inventory coming on the app all the time, and so it makes it a better experience for the buyer, and also the sellers are making money. Loads of people talk about how much money they've made out of stuff that they don't even care about, to the point that the government has now released policies talking about if you're making money on apps like Vinted, you need to declare them on your tax return and stuff like that. So it's kind of been a huge cultural and like economic shift, I would say. So income's Tilt, and income's live stream selling in general. So there's a couple of apps that are like going around at the moment. There's Whatnot. To me, that didn't appeal to me as much because you can buy everything on there. It's not just clothing. Tilt really appealed to me because it was like just about the clothes, which is the main reason that I do everything that I do, is because I love clothes and I wanted to just focus on clothes. I mean, the main thing that hooked me was that it was a completely new concept. So something that hadn't been tried before, at least in my world. And then they explained to me how it works to sell an item. So you're going live. You don't have to prep anything if you don't want to. You go live, you hold up a t-shirt, you click the button that starts the AI listing tool. You go, this is a yellow t-shirt, it's a size 8, and I'm going to start it at £20. It makes the listing, you click start the auction, and then the auction just goes. And I was like, I have been spending hours on Depop listing 50 items. You're telling me I can just list 50 items like that? That was a real game changer for me. From the buyer's perspective, what makes it so appealing? It's the ultimate personalized shopping experience, the most personalized shopping experience that you can get through an app without having a face-to-face interaction with someone. It's like you're on FaceTime with your friend, you're chatting. It's like you're on FaceTime with your friend, you're chatting, but they're selling to you. You can make requests as a chat room, so you can speak to the seller as they're going live. You can say, can you show us some more tops? Can you show us belts? Do you have anything in this size? I don't love this that you're showing, but I would like it in black, or whatever. It's really dynamic, it's really interactive. Then in my case, at least, I try on pretty much everything that I list. So you're seeing it tried on, you're seeing it move around. Any questions that you have, I can answer them immediately. Because it's such a personalized shopping experience, people are comfortable to go back up to paying those premium prices, because you're seeing something that you want in real time, you're getting the tailored experience of it being modeled, all your questions are answered. It might be the perfect piece for you, and in that case it completely makes sense to pay a premium for those pieces. It's just when you're trawling through an app for an hour looking for a pair of jeans and you have no idea how they're going to fit, that you might not want to pay 50 quid for them. With a static online listing, it's a well-known thing that the more back and forth there is between a buyer and a seller, the less likely the sale is going to happen, because they have time to think about it and deliberate, and they might lose interest, they might move on to something else. So to have that back and forth happen immediately, the item's up for sale, you bid on it and it goes, is amazing. It also is good because some people do like low start prices to encourage bidding wars. I just set the price at what I'm happy for it to go as. If there's a bidding war, which I have had bidding wars and things end up going for like £250 and it's amazing and I get like 30 bids. But the majority of my stuff gets like 1, 2 bids, maybe 3 bids. you usually get it for the price that I list it for, or £5 more than that. And it's done, and the sale is done, and we move on. And then there's the community aspect, which is really built into the app through the app's design. The chat room, buyers are communicating with each other. People start, at this point, like, people are knowing each other's names. People are saying like, oh, that's so you always buy stuff like that. So that interaction between the buyers and also between the buyers and the seller is honestly what makes it so fun. Like, for me, I'm just FaceTiming the girls twice a week. We talk about clothes, people buy stuff, and then it ends and we're all like, see you next week. It's honestly such a pleasure to go live. I look forward to doing things like the lives because it's communicating with my community. I think the community aspect of the app has just been crucial to people coming back for more. Like, the actual bidding experience makes it really, really addictive. Like, the auction style selling is really exciting and addictive, but I think the community is also what makes people come back for more. You're part of something. Sellers love it because it's easy to use. Let's say you go live for like 3 hours a week. That's 3 hours of work, then the packaging, and then you're done. From a time point of view, it's great. And then also from a money point of view. So, like I said, after COVID, I remember there was a time where I was making like 5k a week on Depop, really solidly. I was really, really happy with that. Now on Tilt, I can make up to £15 a minute. The more time you put in, the more money you make, as a general rule. The longer I go for each stream, the more money I make. So often the girls on my stream will be like, go for longer, like don't stop. And like I might have dinner or something, so I might have to go. But I could easily go for 3 hours instead of 2 hours, and that would increase the money proportionately. I average around 1 to 1.5k in turnover per live stream. And for me, that is just so great. But it matches the effort that I'm putting in, and I feel like that's a really important part of running a business, is you need to feel like you're getting out what you're putting in, basically. So yeah, those are all the perks of selling on Tilt. I do have a referral code, so if you want to join my next live stream, you can just have a peek in the description of this video and you'll find all the information on there. You'll see when I take you to my live stream next that it is just such a fun experience. It's open like internationally, so you can join even if you're not in England. But yeah, I think it's a really, really interesting time for vintage. I feel like there was a moment where people were saying the market's oversaturated and things need to change. Things definitely needed to change, and now they have, or they are in the process of changing, and it's a very exciting time. So that concludes the TED Talk section of this video on the vintage selling world, and now I'm going to take you along with me to see how the live streams work. On Wednesdays I work from home and then I head into work to do the live stream, so I'm just going to head in now. I've got my bag of bits. I brought some bits back because I wanted to film a video of the like workout stuff that I'm including in this drop, because I posted a video about vintage workout stuff and it went viral, so I thought I'd include some pieces in the drop today. So we're just heading into work now. We're vlogging. Hey Emma. Emma's here. You moved the lemon. Yeah. It's cute.
She's on the desk now.
I like it.
Hate looking at these right now.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Now that we started doing them, like, I actually can't look at these anymore. So I'll update that. We made it with like
Okay, we're up and running on this little Nike top. We've had a bid. The back is completely sheared, and this is sheared, as in like stretchy, not sheer. We're up and running on this top. Okay, we've had a bid. Sold, thank you. Okay, let's do the Levi's next. These are such a nice pair of Levi's. It says 34 on the tags, but they've been hemmed, so I would say they're like a 30. Had a bid from these Levi's. 2 seconds left. Ooh, last minute bid from Poppy. I feel like they fit a 10 perfectly. 4 bids now. God, it's very overstimulating for me to be filming myself twice at once. Okay, almost done. Sold. Who won? Prague. Prague won. Do another one of those tops because you guys seemed to like them. What do we think? I think cute with these jeans.
What? I
With
love
the
that.
safety pins. So cute. Hey vlog, you're back. We've got 6 bids now. Of Earth is winning. Kezia has placed a bid. Sold, thank you. Tildy's winning. We got 15 bids on this one. It's popular. We're up to 91, 94. This is intense. We love a bidding war though. So we're at the end of the live. We're just doing reruns of anything that didn't go the first time. And this denim dress just went for 55. I always do, sorry, I'm talking to the vlog, guys. I always do reruns at the end, just in case anyone changes their mind. This is the sold stuff there. Got a nice pile going. This was really, really cute. I might keep, if no one wants. I just think it would look cute with like, oh my god, you guys just got my arse in your face, I'm sorry. I just think it would look cute with like a little strap underneath. Maybe I'll put that in my pile. the me pile every week is so bad. This is the absolute mess that my studio is always left in. But 36, I think, items sold in 2 hours, which I'm really happy with. 1.482, so let's say 1.5k. In sales, £11.40 a minute, 50% conversion rate, which is great. Half of the items I listed sold, and 34 items. So yeah, I'm really happy. The biggest bundle, usually I get much bigger bundles actually, which means we had more customers, if that makes sense. The biggest bundle was £100, 115, 118. Some really, really cute things. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little behind the scenes of the tilt drop and how it all works. Hopefully I'll be seeing you in the next drop, or you'll be starting to sell on here, or whatever. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on Depop, Vinted, Tilt, where online shopping, online vintage shopping is going. So yeah, I'll see you in the next YouTube.